Okay. Now we get going, and if you have an issue, you just raise your hand. If you have an issue, you just raise your hand. There is nothing else. Don't talk, please, because we are trying to record the lesson probably for future use. And today, from my screen, you can see we are going to look at an essay. At any given point, probably after class 7, when you came to class 8, all the other compositions you're going to write are essays. So what is an essay? What is an essay? What is an essay? An essay is a written piece of work that is short and addresses just one subject. For those whom we interact with in class, remember I said in your composition, you cannot write two different stories. You can only write one at a given time. You can only write one story at a given time or within that particular composition. So an essay is a written piece of work that is short and addresses just one topic. So the request is, or the norm is, or the rule is, just pick a topic within the storyline you have been given, and from that particular storyline given to you, it is the very one you are going to write about. So the first thing to do when you must write an essay is to pick your topic. In most instances, a grade 8 will be given a storyline. For example, I woke up early in the morning, dressed nicely for the picnic. As I left the house, then the storyline which you have been given ends there. So for you to be able to write a very good composition, you must develop a story based on particular topic as or along the given storyline. If the topic is assigned to you by your teacher, you need to make sure that you understand the topic. If you are unsure, always ask your teacher for precisions or for tips. I think that is what precision means in there. There is no shame. There is no shame in not understanding something. What would be a shame if you spent your time writing an essay that is not about the assigned topic or the topic you have assigned the essay. The big idea in your mind is to write about a road accident. So back to the storyline I gave, as you left the house, you start writing about places, or as you walked on the way, how it happened. Then suddenly you switch to something else. That is wrong. Not only would this be a waste of your time, but will receive a bad grade, which means the marks you are going to be awarded are going to be fewer. They are going to be less than your expectation. Of course, every student expects to score well in every subject you're doing. So what is the first step in writing an essay? You should make a plan for your essay. This plan will help you structure your essay. Remember, in class we said it's a plot. Your plan will not be graded by your teacher. We said the plan is personal and probably could be scribbled somewhere at the back page. Remember, as you write along or by the time you finish writing, you must remove the plan or the plot. However, you may show your plan to a teacher or a friend and obtain some advice. Now, this is in a free writing environment. For example, as you are home, you can share your tips or your plan or your plot with someone around you. Your teacher and your friends may give you suggestions to make your essay even better. If your plan does not fulfill the requirement that your teacher expects of you, they will let you know so that you can make the appropriate changes in order to write a better essay. Your teacher will not tell you what to write, but if they see a major problem in your plan, it is good for you to know about it before you start writing. It can help you achieve a better grade. That particular point basically refers to the fact that as we are going to write, there is something we need to take care of. We need to take care of the ideology or the topic or the theme or what my composition is all going to be about. It should be owned by the writer, not by the teacher or the person discussing this with you or the person guiding you on this. How do I make a plan for my essay? Or how do I make a plot for my essay? Your plan should note that there will be 3 parts in your essay. Your plan should divide your essay into 3 parts. The first one is the introduction. Like in the storylines, the introduction is partly done for us. That is, they normally give us 1 or 2 sentences. And you're allowed, and it is prudent, and it is correct, and it is also very important within the writing context that you can always twist. You can always twist that composition to suit or to match what you intended to write. So the second part is the body, the many paragraphs, the elaborations, the explanations on the accident, how it happened. And in most cases, if you're writing about an accident, you must not be a fatality in that accident. You must be one of the people who escaped the accident. Please, we have had a scenario whereby you are even writing that you were taken to the mortuary, and when you woke up, you went to the police station. Please, in the recent past, we have not had anyone resurrecting. So you should also take note that resurrection is not very common. So in most cases, when you're writing about an accident, be a witness. Be a witness to the accident. Please don't be a victim. And if you have to be a victim, you must be that lucky victim. So the last part is the conclusion. How did things end up? In your plan, it is not necessary to write what you will write in your introduction and in your conclusion. Just remember that you need to write 1 paragraph for the introduction and 1 paragraph for the conclusion. So you realize that what is important is the body, the actual explanation or chronology or schedule of events or pattern of events. The plan is mainly about the body of the essay. Before you can make a plan, you need to understand how the body of an essay works. The body of an essay is where you discuss your ideas. Each paragraph should contain only 1 idea. When making your plan, you need to identify your main ideas. Remember that each main idea will have its own paragraph. Please let me go back to my accident. As I left the house, I hit the road and I was walking fast. And within me, I was only imagining how we were going to enjoy the picnic. Suddenly, I had the screeching of brakes. Please, the next paragraph, explain the effect of the screeching of the brakes. When the lorry or the car suddenly stopped, did it hit someone? Did it hit another vehicle? Was it a head-on collision or something like that? So let us use an example of how to achieve a good plan to help you write the body of the essay. If your teacher tells you to write an essay about a favorite animal, that is more of descriptive composition. The body of the essay is where you will tell us. The body of the essay is whereby you will tell us. The body of the essay is whereby you will tell us the animal that you have chosen is your favorite animal. Let us pretend that you have chosen, for example, a tiger. This is what a plan would look like. Okay? Introduction, body of the essay, paragraph 1. The physiognomy or appearance of the tiger. How does the tiger looks like? We've gotten a new term. It's called physiognomy. Physiognomy or in bracket, the appearance of the tiger. Here you will talk about why you like the body of the tiger. You think that it is a beautiful animal, and you will write your reasons why. Back to the accident one. If paragraph 1 was the introduction about you leaving the house, talk about how you left the house and how you moved or walked along the road. And then paragraph 2, the intelligence of the tiger, where you will tell us how intelligent the tiger is and why his intelligence make him your favorite animal. As in the case of accident, how the screeching of the brakes brought your attention to the accident and what exactly happened. Don't say the cars came together, they rammed into each other, or they collided, or it hit a post, or it hit a pedestrian, or something of the sort. Paragraph 3, the high place of the tiger in the animal kingdom. If you are writing about this animal, what you think or your own opinion about how prestigious or imperial this particular animal is. Here, you would talk about why the tiger, mainly being a predator and not a prey, and not a prey to many other animals, makes the tiger your favorite animal. It seems probably here the writer is a power maniac. You love power. You need that particular person, or you want to associate with the people and animals which exhibit power, style, prestige, and probably class. As you see, each paragraph has one main idea only. Please, even when we go back to that idea, that accident one, paragraph 1 was your exit from home. Paragraph 2 talks about the actual scene of the accident. And then paragraph 3 should now talk about your reaction. Paragraph 4, additional help which came to the accident scene. Paragraph 5, what happened to the victims. Probably paragraph 6, what role did you play in giving information because you are the eyewitness probably, or you are the only conscious or survivor or a victim of the accident who managed to come out unscathed and injured. And so that is how it will. As you can see, each paragraph has one main idea only. Your goal will be to write about everything that falls under each main idea. For example, if your first paragraph is about physiognomy or physiognomy, we said physiognomy probably would match the word appearance of the tiger. You can write about the tiger's fur. You can write about their cute flat nose. You can talk about their beautiful tails. You can write about anything that describes what you like physically about the tiger. You would not write about intelligence of the tiger in this paragraph. You would go in paragraph 2, one idea per paragraph. Now, back to our accident one. You cannot say that in the second paragraph, the accident occurs, and straight away in the third paragraph, you are talking of victims in the hospital. You are talking of victims in the hospital. It must be systematic. It must be systematic. From the accident to your reaction to additional help provided by bystanders or provided by police or provided by paramedics. If there is any other role you played to help retrieve people from the wreckage of the bus or the vehicle or the car, or even to lift the injured person from the ground and provide first aid, that should fall simultaneously from the first act you took part in to the second one to the third one. Remember, in most cases, if people are trapped in a wreckage is that vehicle which has been mangled, the shape has been changed as a result of the collision or as a result of hitting the wall or the barrier or even the place it hit. So the first step should be you and your team trying to cut the metal which the vehicle is made up of and then removing victims. As you retrieve the victims from the wreckage, there are those who are badly injured and there are those who are not badly injured. And how did you help with the first aid? I think it is clear, my children. I think it is very clear there. So write my conclusion. The plan is done. Start writing the essay. Once the plan is done, you done and you are satisfied with it, it is time to start writing. Go back to our plan or our plot about the accident. Step one was you left the house, and then list those important points. Point number two, what happened as I was walking along the road? Point number three, how did I react? How did I react? Point number four, what additional help came? Point number five, what happened to the victims of the accident? Were they taken to hospitals? Now, point number six, what other information did you provide about the accident as an eyewitness or as a lucky victim? Then did you provide this to the press or did you provide this to the police? And then after the accident situation, how did you feel? So there are rules for writing an introduction properly and for writing conclusion properly. Note that they are generic rules and they could change depending on the type of essay you are writing. So how you are going to attack your composition, how to begin it for that matter, entirely depends with you and your ability as a writer. And again, on the guidance and the other stories you have been able to follow along the way, because as now we are not novice writers. We are going to a level whereby most of us should be able to write very nice compositions or very nice essays. Notice that these are generic, which means the rules can change. There is not one specific way to write an essay that is acceptable for all essays, which means our writing or our essays should be varieties. They should be varieties. However, if there are specific rules to a specific type of essay, your teacher will usually make you aware. For now, understanding the basic rules that work most essays is good enough. You should only use and understand and master and write based on what you have acquired and based on your plot and on your plan. Is it right? So what is an introduction and how to write one? So the introduction is very, very important because it is the one which is going to enable the marker really feel that this composition is interesting. You will be lured to read more and try to understand more. An introduction is always in your first paragraph. You cannot introduce your composition at the end of it. It is usually short, and this is where you introduce the subject of your essay. Right, boys? Remember the storyline I gave? I woke up early, I prepared very well, and then as I left the house, the storyline ends there. So this introduction is what is going to lead us to understand, or the marker to understand, that this particular writer is writing his or her composition, and the aim of writing his or her composition is to lead him to this road accident, right? If we refer to our previous example about your favorite animal, you will tell us that your favorite animal is the particular favorite animal in paragraph 1. When you introduce yourself to someone, you may say, hello, my name. Introduction in an essay works very much in the same way. It will introduce the topic of your essay. You want to try to grab your reader's attention in your introduction. In this case, our reader also doubles up as our marker. So what did I say earlier on, even in our respective classes? We said that the best thing a writer can do is to ensure that whatever you are writing, you're the first person to enjoy it. You're the first person to enjoy it. So the main rule for writing an introduction are as follows. The introduction should have 3 parts in its paragraph. The three parts are called a hook, a transition, and a thesis. I want us to get the words right. A hook, transition, and thesis. Those are the three parts of introducing an essay. Can we go through them again? Can we go through them? Those who are trying to enter our lesson with the different gadgets without names, please stop disturbing us. The hook. I've said to introduce your composition, you're going to do it in three parts: the hook, the transition, and the thesis. What are these things? The hook. It is the specific example or story that interests the reader and introduces the topic, right? We picked our hook as an accident scene. Here are 7 ways to help you write a good hook that will make the reader want to read and read what you have to say or what you have to write. I think those who are very good gadgets, you'll have to screenshot this particular area. Interesting question. Ask a question about your essay topic. Make sure that the reader needs to read your essay to find out the answer. You are choosing or you are choosing or you are picking of words. Let's pretend that your essay topic is how to succeed in university. An interesting question hook would be this. What is the difference between a successful university student and an unsuccessful university student? What does this hook really mean? It really means that as a writer, you're the one to decide what you think will interest the reader. All these powers are bestowed in the writer. Like in our situation of the accident, the power to choose which kind of accident you are going to write about is purely with you as the writer. Okay? Strong statement, even declarations. Write a sentence of write a sentence of a few sentences, or write a sentence of a few sentences that make an assertive claim about your topic. Make sure that your question connects to your thesis statement. We will talk about the thesis statement in our next slide. So the reader will be interested to see how you support this statement in your essay. Boys and girls of my time, are you getting this right? You decided to write about an accident. Remember, there are different kinds of accidents. And this, for this particular instance, I am picking a road accident involving a lorry and a bus. In most instances, buses carry passengers. And in most accidents, we cry foul mostly when we lose lives and people get maimed. If goods are lost, some goods are paid for by insurance. But I do not think whether there is any insurance which pays back life. I really don't think so. So write a few sentences that make assertive claim about the essay topic. So as you are introducing the composition about the accident, give us sentences which will clearly tell us that this was a road accident. Remember, in my sample, the oral sample I was giving is that as I was walking along the road, I had loud screeches of brakes, and then a loud bang followed. When I turned back, what I saw, my eyes could not believe. That is my strong statement. The reader will be interested. Once I do that, whoever is going to read my composition will develop a lot of interest. Here is an example. Your essay topic here is online university classes or online class 8 lessons. Your strong statement could be online class 8 classes are cheaper and more effective than in-person learning. And such sentiments must be supported with the facts. Remember when I said what you saw, your eyes could not believe. There must be a written fact to support what your eyes saw which could not believe. It must have been something terribly wrong. Okay? Number 3, fact statistic hook. Start your essay with the statistics. Try to give numbers where necessary. And again, as I always say, introduce characters in your passage. That boy, that man, this place, that place. Please give names. Please give names to specific characters in your essay. Okay? So you cannot make a fact or a statistics just you make sure that your fact comes from a credible source. You cannot make up facts or statistics just to hook your reader. You should be honest. You should be honest. You should be honest. You should be honest. And whatever else you are saying should actually match a real accident scene. Number 4, metaphors or simile hook. Write a metaphor that makes a direct comparison between your essay, topic, and something different. Yeah, what I saw, I could not believe. It was like hell on earth. That hell on earth is a metaphor. Then explain into details what that hell on earth is as it was unfolding before your eyes. You can also use a simile by adding the word like or as. Oh, it was as crazy as, I don't know, it was like a movie scene. It was as crazy as a hyena party, something like that. So the metaphor or the smile hook engages your reader because it makes them think about the topic in a different way. It makes me or the marker or the reader to think that your writing is of first class and your story is really worth enjoying. Your audience wonders what you mean and how you compare a topic to something that seems unconnected. Where you are saying, the place looked as if it was a paradise and blood is spilled all over. That does not work. So next is a metaphor is a figure of speech that directly compares one thing to another, but these two things seems unrelated. An example of metaphor is our boyfriend is a rat. What you mean by that is that this particular boyfriend is a thief or somebody who is highly cunning. Highly cunning. Yeah. The accident scene was hell, which means whatever was happening there is not what everybody else expected. Okay? A simile is like a metaphor. Both compare two unrelated things to each other, but similes use words like as to connect them. A simile is less strong than in terms of comparison to a metaphor. We can say here, Aisha is a lion. That is a metaphor. What do we mean by that? Aisha's character resembles those of a lion. She's brave, she's strong, and she never fails to speak her mind. She's strong, and she's who she is. So, writing a research paper is like running a marathon. Writing a research paper is like running a marathon when it is 35 degrees Celsius. That particular statement is telling us that the process of writing a research paper for those of us who are at high level, it is not easy. It involves a lot. It takes time. Okay? If your essay topic is on business blogging, you could write the metaphor hook. A business blog is a magnet pulling clients to a company, or a businessman is a magnet. For example, among the numbers I have here, or amongst the names I have here, I pick Abdraman. Abdraman is a magnet, which means whatever Abdraman does, people are attracted to it. He is a businessman. Abdraman, I hope you are a businessman. So I can use a metaphor that Abdraman is a magnet. It attracts customers or potential buyers to his particular shop. So similarly, a business blog is like a magnet that pulls clients to company. So we realize that a metaphor is much stronger than a simile. We've learned similes. We've never learned metaphors that much, but we shall do so in the course of our learning. So story hook. We are running short of time. Being your essay with a short story or episode that connects to your essay topic makes sure that you can use this type of hook in your essay. Some essays will not allow you to use this type of hook, please, especially descriptive compositions. Readers love stories, especially a well-written story that is memorable. You can remember it. Remember, sometimes you are asked to write a story you have read. Why are you able to write that story? Because it was a memorable one. It is a story, you still have it in your mind. Even those of us who like moviegoers or who watch movies, there is that particular movie, you'd want to watch it again because it was memorable. It captured your imagination. It captured the imagination of those others who watched it along with you. So the key to a great story hook is making sure that the story directly connects to your essay theme or paper topic. Your essay theme, that is what you are going to write about. I was been constantly giving an example of an accident, a road accident. Here is an example of a story hook for an essay about the difference between British and American English. It's a short one. I use the story of a friend's trip to England for some of us. For example, in Kenya, we have different sub-tribes in Kenya, and they speak English differently. And as they speak English differently, their accent is influenced by their respective mother tongues. So I got off the train and pulled my luggage behind me. A cab pulled up to the cab and the driver got out. He lifted my luggage and said, Miss. Abdullah, yes, what is it? Miss, I am just going to put your stuff in the boot. I don't know what that meant until I saw him open the car trunk. Abdullah, there is a problem. What is it? There is a problem, Abdullah read. Please say it. Okay. So what is hooking the writer here is in England they use the word boot to mean the space behind the car where you can keep your luggage. But this American guy or American person, they call it trunk. I got into the cab wondering how many other words would be different in England. You see now, just a simple paragraph, but it is attracting you if you are somebody who has a lot of interest in language, that exactly how do they speak in England and how exactly do they speak in America. Description hook, write a vivid, especially descriptive composition, write a vivid description of a scene or setting that will draw your readers into your writing. Make sure that your description hook ties with the rest of your essay. Here is an example. Here is an example of a description hook for a personal narrative. Essay about saving a dog. The dog hauled in pain and limped along the side of the road. His leg was cut and blood streamed down his leg. It must be something which is going to attract this reader. What exactly happened to this particular dog? Quotation hook. Begin your essay with a powerful or striking quotation. Quote the person's words directly. It can be a quotation from a famous person. Famous people are like Mother Teresa, Nelson Mandela, Jomo Kenyatta, blah, blah, blah. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be. Make sure the quotation is relevant to your topic. Example, if you write an essay on topic of education, you should begin with Nelson Mandela said. Okay? It must not necessarily be a very well-known person like Nelson Mandela. It could even be the chief traffic police officer for Eastline. Education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. So you can also begin that essay with that quotation hook. Okay? Transition. Now, from that, we now move to the body or the actual thesis of the composition. So now that you have a hook for your introduction, it is time for the second part of an introduction, the transition. The transition is a sentence or sentences that connect the hook with the thesis. Remember, I walked along the road thinking about how our picnic day would end up. I kept on walking fast, and all my mind was drawn to the trip, or to the picnic, or to the incursion. Full stop. Then suddenly I heard loud screeching of brakes followed by a quick loud bang. That is our transition from you leaving the house to thinking about the things you are looking forward to enjoying, and at the same time being careful on the road. So next lesson, we are going to look at the transition or the thesis or the body of the composition. Then subsequently, I will present a sample of a very nicely written road accident to you. Please, I believe we've learned something. I believe we've learned something. Have a wonderful afternoon or the rest of the day, and things will be fine. Have a wonderful morning, then afternoon, then probably the rest of the day. Bye-bye.